like manga. I have 4 manga-kas on my list. 4 of them. We're gonna start with my 2 favorites, and then we're gonna talk about my 2 not as much favorites, but still favorites. And the only reason they're on that list is because I've only read 1 series from both of them. I've read 2 from one of them, but I haven't read enough of the second one to really go, yeah, he's a good manga-ka kind of thing. AJ, I know you're gonna sneer at this one, but I don't care. I love you, AJ. Does this look familiar? Yeah, that's right, it's Dragon Ball Z. Akira Toriyama is one of my favorite mangakas ever. I chose this volume because it's got some, or I chose this Shonen Jump because it's got this page, which has Cell, which is my favorite bad guy, and Vegeta, who is my favorite character, and all kinds of awesome things like that. He is very detailed, even if his artwork's a little sketchy, but it's really detailed and I love him. And I've read more than just Dragon Ball Z. I've read Sandland and bits and pieces of Dr. Slump, and he's just a fantastic storyteller. You know, he takes a story like Into the West and turns it into Dragon Ball Z, and he's created a juggernaut. You can't, you really can't hate him for that. He did something that hasn't really been done since Osamu Tezuka. Yeah, let's just put it that way. I suppose you can probably say Miyazaki, but Miyazaki's more of the anime, not the manga. I mean, those 3, and whoever created Gundam, I can't remember his name. Okay, so those 4 are staples in the otaku universe, so yeah. Akira Toriyama. Rumiko Takahashi would be my other favorite. She's famous for doing Ranma 1/2 and probably more famous for doing Inuyasha, which I love both of those. Ranma is hilarious and Inuyasha is fantastic. It's got a great mix of romance and action and storytelling and awesomeness. It's fantastic. I love Inuyasha. But my favorite manga from her right now is her newest one that she's doing right now, Rin-ne. I don't own it yet. I really want to. But it's very similar to Inuyasha, but it's just told differently, and it's also fantastic. I think it starts out stronger, and the main female character is not as revolting as Kagome. Sakura is a lot better than Kagome in many ways. I also really like her husband, Kazuki Takahashi. This is the one that I've read only 1 series from, but he's done multiple series of this series, so that would be Yu-Gi-Oh! This is the first volume of Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium World, and I mean, one thing I really liked about reading Yu-Gi-Oh! Was seeing how Kazuki Takahashi really evolved over time. And this isn't a great example because Jinochi looks like he did in the anime pretty much, but you look at the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series right here, and you can see that he's evolved because, you know, you look at this, I mean, this is very similar to what it looks like in the eventual anime, and if I had the first volume with me, I would show you that, but I just can't find that Shonen Jump. So, but this, I mean, his style just evolved over time immensely. And you end up with something like this with the Pharaoh, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It's fantastic. I mean, his artwork, I love it. And his storytelling is amazing. This is a great story, and it's not about a card game. Duelist happens to be about kids playing card games, but not to save the world. Dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! I love you because you're part of my past, but you ruined the story. Akamine Kamijo is also one of my favorites because he did Samurai Deeper Kyo, which is my favorite manga ever. And you guys see this manga all the time, mostly because it's the one with me going, he's probably one of the best artists I've ever come across in my otaku life ever. He's fantastic. I mean, his artwork is so amazing. I mean, I love, you know, like the artist Obata, who did Hikaru no Go and Death Note and all kinds of Ralgrad. What else did he do? He's done so much, and he's revered as one of the best artists in manga, in the whole manga world. But this is so much better than what I read in Death Note, or even what I saw in Hikaru no Go. I love both those series, and I do love Obata, Takeshi Obata, but he's nowhere near this. This is just fantastic artwork. Fantastic. The covers sometimes bug me, which is why this is the only one I ever publicly talk about, because this is my favorite cover. The others all kind of suck, but that I have at least. But seriously, there is nobody on this planet who is a better artist. That's my personal opinion, but And the reason he's not like my absolute favorite is because I've only ever really read Samurai Deeper Kyo. I've read a little bit of Codebreaker, but I need to read more Codebreaker. Anyway, Sarah, I'll see you tomorrow.